So here my AE86 from 1986. So take you around it so you can see sort of what rust I just took most of it apart. The plan is to actually the thing is that I'm not living in the same country where the car is located. So maintaining an older car like this, making sure everything is kind of, kept up to snuff and, kept in order is a little bit difficult when I'm only with the car 3 weeks at a year. So I'm contemplating selling it. And whether I should do the rust or not, I'm not really sure about. So I'm just gonna maybe see if there's anyone out there that would be interested in the car as is. So to try and be very upfront and open about the condition of the car, I sort of will just let you see what's what, and then I'll make a decision whether I sort of make it, almost rust free myself, or whether I just choose to hand it over to someone else. So where to begin? Okay. So this rear quarter over here is the worst, I believe. There's a small bubble there on the arch. I haven't actually gotten to poking a screwdriver in it, but that seems should be fairly easy to fix, I believe. Other than that, the rear quarter up here around the windows and so on is okay. Maybe I'll just show you the rust that I found instead of showing you the rust that I didn't found. This is the worst bit by far. There's a big fat gaping hole here, and someone previous owner before me actually put a piece of tape over it and just painted over. So but that for sure, that's quite obvious. Then there's the seal down here, you can see. That needs to be fixed. There's definitely some work here. A piece of tape had also nicely been covering this hole. There's that edge there, it needs to be fixed. This bit down here is not too good. This seam here is also getting a little bit rough, but not completely delaminated. This rear quarter here is actually looking pretty decent. Until we come over here in this corner. Some work needs to be done here. Then there's an area here. Since I will not have time to do any rust work on it myself, I sort of just scrubbed this one down and gave it some oil to make sure it doesn't get any worse. Because I don't know if it's needed to replace this whole rear quarter or whether you can just fix this locally. Again, stuff that needs to be gone. The worst bit by far is here, and there's a hole there going into the cabin, as you can see. So I'll show that from the inside also, but there's a bit of work to be done here, so that's by far the worst place on the car, and most time consuming, I would say. Again, I'm not really an expert on rust, so it appears that the car has had a small scratch, or rather a deep scratch here. So the Bondo had cracked, and then a small line of rust had started to appear underneath. So I scrubbed all of that off, sanded it down to bare metal, and then again, just to make sure it doesn't get any worse. Here on the inside, unfortunately, this door here is not It needs some work, as you can see. Again, I just took away all the loose rust best I could to make sure it doesn't get any worse. So yeah, so some work needs to be done on this door. Other than that, door's great. So the good bits here, unfortunately I cannot, so I don't know if you can, I'll just turn the camera around here to show you the wheel arches. So this all looks good. There's no rust really to mention here. I don't know if this is gonna work. Really looking super great here. The front left inner arch. I had the car undercoated, I don't know, several years ago. Plus 15 years ago, around 15 years ago probably, when I was still living in Denmark. This is really the only bit in the front that's really corroded. There you go. And the same over here, also looking great. Plenty of underbody coating here. Whoops. There we go. And again, the fenders, you can see how nice the fenders look. Hardly any rust. Oh, that was a little bit. Again, on the outside, no visible rust whatsoever. The right door is in, as far as I can tell, to next to new condition. I cannot see, I haven't been able to find any seams or any thing that has got corrosion on it. Really nice looking door here. Can we get the camera to focus? Just show you the inside here. Yeah. Sometimes it's really bad around the hinges here, but no visible rust also, as far as I can tell. Right, so that's sort of the rust I found from the outside. So let's, oh, maybe I can open the door here also and just show you. Same is the case here with the hinges. A little bit of surface rust there, but the hinges is mounted to the frame itself. Looks really solid. Needs to be cleaned up, but otherwise that's good. There's some rust down there. See if I can cover here a little bit, so you can. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult here with the light from from outside, but I guarantee you this whole way around here, the door, everything is perfect, all solid steel. Right. What's next? The hatch, and inside the trunk. Struts are a little bit tight, but they will hold up just fine. Start by showing you here. It's all looking good. It's a little bit has been eating away here, and a small, yeah, again, you know, a little bit of rust work needs to be done here if you want to make it perfect. And then we have a little bit up here also, surface corrosion. Oh no, this is actually corroded through. There's a small hole here that corroded through, and a little bit there. The hatch is looking really nice. They can be really terrible in terms of rust, but this one is not. It's just not. It's just absolutely rust free here around. No corrosion whatsoever. However, there is some corrosion up here that needs to be taken care of soon, I would say. Along the edge there, but not visible from the outside. As you can see here. There you go. Inside. So unfortunately I cannot have the flash on and do a wide view at the same time. So yeah, okay, let's start from the driver's side and move around. The worst bit, you can see this bit here definitely needs sorting. There's some surface rust here. Yeah, a little bit of, there's some surface rust here and there. It needs to be sanded down. Bit here on the mounting points for the seats. Other than that, here a little bit, I believe it's just surface rust. I haven't been able to scratch through anything. A little bit here. This corner here has already been repaired one time. I'm a little bit unsure how that is, but the video from underneath the car will probably show better. So up here is the bad bit that I also showed from the outside, where you can see here you got the hole there from the outside. So this is probably quite tricky to fix, you know, 100% the right way. Yeah, I'm definitely not the man to do it. And just show you a little bit around here, the trunk. I tried to take the rear lights out, but it turns out that the seal running around, the watertight seal, that foam piece, I was going to tear that apart if I tried to take out the light, so I choose not to. So you can see here again that it's been coated, undercoated before. Other than that, pretty nice looking. Same over here, some rust work has been done. Floor here all good. Need some work done here again. The seals in general needs to be fixed. Right, so that's the inside. I think I forgot to show you the right rear wheel arch. Looking good to me. This is all solid here. No rust whatsoever. There's some surface rust here, I believe, mostly surface rust. The gas tank has been down recently, emptied for old bad gas, since it's been sitting for the last 4 or 5 years. The shop said that there was no rust or corrosion in the gas tank, and didn't mention any other thing about rust. So that's really good. Gas tanks are super hard to get a hold of. What else? I think I showed you around the windows here. There is some rust around the window down here. That definitely needs to be sorted at some point. You can see here. I don't know if this is the same panel, but yeah, window needs to come out and that needs to be sorted. Let's open the hood. In the engine bay, I don't have any knowledge whatsoever about any really bad rust. It's all really just dirty and surface rust. So some elbow grease and you can make it look really nice in here. Here's the VIN. And the battery tray can be pretty heavily corroded. Again, yeah, this one I just removed all the loose rust and covered it in some oil, so again it doesn't get any worse. So I believe that is most of what I found on the car. In terms of rust that needs to be sort of fixed immediately, I would say. Besides that, it's a great car. There hasn't really been any rust work done on it for a very long time, since it has been driving very little since I've been in China permanently for the last 13 years. So yeah, I think that's about it. Oh yeah, the hood. I haven't found any rust whatsoever on the hood, or under the hood, maybe you should say. Okay, I need to correct myself. Right.